Hello Bloomington, I'm Mayor Tim Busse, and this is the Council Minute for the week of June 6th. On Monday night, the Bloomington City Council approved an earned sick and safe leave ordinance that guarantees time off work for all employees, including full-time, part-time, seasonal, and temporary employees or paid interns working in Bloomington. The ordinance is intended to allow employees to care for themselves and family members, making Bloomington a healthier, more secure, and more productive community. We've been talking about this for a while, and back in February of 2021, the Council directed staff to begin looking at a possible sick and safe leave ordinance. Staff ultimately recommended appointing a task force to develop a draft ordinance that would reflect the input of a diverse pool of stakeholders and one that was as clear and as understandable and as uncomplicated as possible for both employers and employees. The task force included members of the hospitality industry, the general business community, representatives of organized labor, and community members. They did a very nice job of looking at the alternatives and considering the pros and cons, and ultimately brought forward a draft for council consideration. Thank you to the task force members for your work. In addition to the business and economic pieces of the discussion, the council looked at the ordinance from a public health perspective. If the past 2 years have taught us anything, it's that limiting the spread of contagious illness improves public health and benefits everyone. We also considered that employees working in lower wage, higher turnover, and public contact jobs, like many of the jobs that we have here in Bloomington, typically lacked access to paid sick leave. The Earned Sick and Safe Leave Ordinance will take effect July 1st, 2023. And under the new ordinance, employers with 5 or more employees must provide paid earned sick and safe leave. Employers with fewer than 5 employees must also provide unpaid leave, but they can choose to provide paid leave. Employees will accrue earned sick and safe leave at a rate of 1 hour for every 30 hours worked. So for example, if an employee works 120 hours, that employee will accrue 4 hours of earned sick and safe leave. There's an 80-hour maximum accrual cap. The ordinance specifically addresses sick and safe leave. Now, sick leave is pretty self-explanatory. Employees can use the leave to care for their own health or for the health of a family member or a member of their household. Things like going to the doctor or being home with an illness or an injury, or for medical or mental health emergencies. The notion of safe time might be newer to some people. Under the ordinance, when an employee, a family, or a household member is experiencing domestic violence, sexual assault, or stalking, the employee can use earned sick and safe leave hours. Tragically, we've seen an increase over the past couple of years in the need for time off for things like counseling, relocation or safety planning, or participating in a legal proceeding like seeking a restraining order or talking to a lawyer. As I mentioned, the ordinance will take effect July 1st of 2023. That year-long ramp-up time is intentional and will give the city time to educate and inform employers and employees about the details of this important new ordinance. Also on Monday night, the City Council approved funding for the 2022 Cultural Arts Support Program. As I'm sure you know, for decades, Bloomington has been home to a thriving and vibrant cultural arts community. The city has allocated funds to support the arts since the 1960s. You may remember that at one point, the Bloomington Fine Arts Council distributed funds. The city formalized the funding program in 2011 with the City of Bloomington Cultural Arts Support Grant Program. The program has a number of very valuable goals, but the bottom line is to invest in the arts in Bloomington. The funding helps support general operating expenses for Bloomington-centric nonprofit organizations, cultural arts groups, or arts-related educational institutions. The funding allocated this year totaled just over $171,000. Since 2011, the City of Bloomington has issued over $1.3 million in grant funds to Bloomington arts and cultural assets. And in that time, those funds have impacted the lives of more than 560,000 participants, youth, adults, and seniors, and they did it through an estimated 1,559 public performances. And I always remind people, a study done in 2019 showed that the annual economic impact of the arts in Bloomington was more than $12 million. That's a good return on investment. The groups funded this year are all very familiar and all do an outstanding job of providing cultural arts opportunities for Bloomington residents. They also bring art activities to people who may not otherwise have access to the arts, and they make the arts accessible, equitable, and inclusive for all. They also play a big part in Bloomington's quality of life. Any great city has great art. and I am so appreciative of these groups, and I'm also very happy to see them back after a difficult couple of years. It's also promising that the goals of the Cultural Arts Support Grant Program include encouraging development and expansion of the cultural arts in Bloomington. I know there are a lot of artists out there who have a story to share. This grant program is a wonderful tool to help existing and new cultural arts groups expand to new audiences, increase programs, and improve their community reach. And speaking of community reach, our arts programs are doing just that this weekend. The Angelica Cantante Youth Choirs will perform at Orchestra Hall as part of conductor Osmo Vasca's farewell concerts. Congratulations to the singers in grades 5 through 8 who have been rehearsing since January for this wonderful opportunity. And this Saturday, in the lobby of the Center for the Arts, the Bloomington Chorale, notable singers, Angelica Cantante, and Continental Ballet will all be performing in conjunction with the opening day of the Bloomington Farmers Market. I hope to see you there. Finally today, June is Pride Month, and on Monday I read a proclamation recognizing and supporting the members of our community who identify as LGBTQIA. Logan Sauer, a member of the Bloomington Pride Celebration Core Planning Team, was on hand to accept the proclamation and to share his inspiring story. In recognition of Pride Month, progressive pride flags are being flown this week at Civic Plaza and Public Works, and the city is sponsoring the Come As You Are exhibit in the Inez Greenberg Gallery at the Center for the Arts. The exhibit, which runs through July 8th, celebrates the LGBTQIA community, and it celebrates 50 years of the Twin Cities Pride Festival. Later this summer, the second annual Bloomington Pride celebration will take place on the east lawn of Civic Plaza. Mark your calendars for Saturday, August 13th. That will do it for this week's Council Minute. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, stay safe, Bloomington.